Hi y'all, so today has been one interesting, motivating, and exhausting day. First of all, I don't know if you guys saw my earlier video I made this morning where I talked to you guys about my encounter with a Maasai woman. Go and watch that video. It was breathtaking, y'all. I was like, oh my gosh, this can't be real. I guess it is real. So I was out and about in the city. I went to Brooklyn. I went to Flatbush, one of my favorite places to go. And I picked up some nail polish. I'm going to paint my nails while I do this video. I already did my toes already. I got some nail polish on my fingernails, but it's not going to kill it. I got some Brazilian nut oil from the hair store out there. I hope this polish is good. I already tried it on my toes, and so far it seems like it's good, but you just don't know. It depends on how long it lasts, because you know how nail polish be. So I want to talk to you guys about co-parenting. Now, I don't have any kids of my own, but I know people who do have kids, and I know that there are a lot of black men and women who co-parent, right? But I've never heard a situation where two parents of a child co-parent. They don't go together. They're not married. They're not dating. There's no kind of intimacy. There's no sex or nothing, right? But they co-parent and they live together. Now, I find it to be very unusual, because I came across someone, one of my associates, told me that she actually co-parents with her child's father, and I thought that was pretty unique. I'm like, what? Painting my right hand is always weird. I do that first usually, because it's more difficult than painting my left hand. But she said that she and her child's father co-parent, and from what I've seen, they seem to have a pretty healthy relationship as co-parents living together. I'm just like, what? Now, they are not African American. They're not black, by the way. They are not black. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, because black people, we just do things differently. And I've never heard of a situation where you have black parents living together and co-parenting. Like, I just haven't. You don't see that. It's very unusual. Comment below if you guys have seen a situation like that. But for me, I've never seen a situation like that. So when she told me that that's what her and her child's father do, I was like, wow, impressive. And I've seen it for myself, and they seem to get along pretty well. It's like, okay then. I think I used a little bit too much. I don't know. This polish seems like it's kind of sticky. But it made me think about like the challenges that, now first of all, the benefits, and then the challenges that come along with co-parenting. Now the challenges, well, let's talk about the benefits first. The benefits obviously would be that the child gets to have both the mother and the father living in the household together, right? Because it can be kind of difficult where you are co-parenting but you don't live together, and you have to arrange places and times to meet so you can exchange your child as if it's some object that you're handing over. Like, that was weird. I am the product of a two-parent household. I grew up in a two-parent household up until the age of 12 years old, and then my mom and my dad split, and my mom moved 30 miles outside of where we were living at initially. So that period in which I was staying with my mom for like 4 years, when I was 12 years old, so from 12 to 16 I stayed with my mom. It was kind of awkward because my mom and dad co-parented me, and they would like kind of hand me off, right? And so I'm from Florida. My mom lives in St. Augustine. My dad lives in Jacksonville, Florida, like 30 minutes apart from each other, 30 miles apart from each other. And they would meet Their halfway mark was like at the Avenues Mall. Now, for you guys who are from Jacksonville, Florida, you know what I'm talking about. They would meet at the Avenues Mall, and it was weird to me having to go through that. And I went through that for 4 years, the whole handing over process. And I remember talking to my dad, and he would always tell me, like, he tried to negotiate with my mom to stay. He didn't want her to leave. And granted, you know, like I said, I was 12 years old when my mom had left my dad, because it just wasn't working out between the two of them. And he was like, yeah, I begged her to stay, but she didn't stay, and she wanted to leave. And he was like, yeah, I just wanted us to still live together as a family, and I would treat her as you know, a sister. You know, it was like we could have been like brother and sister. And I was like, interesting. So fast forward to the day and seeing like an associate of mine, seeing how they are actually able to co-parent and live together, it kind of took me back to the conversation I had with my dad. Like, it reminded me how he said he attempted that, you know, to do that with my mom, and it just, you know, she wasn't having it. She was not open to that proposal. She denied his request. She was like, oh no. And so like I said, the benefits obviously would be to not have to hand your child over, like everyone lives together, right? And on top of that, you can save money. But the drawback, which I think is it could be a major issue, and this is probably the reason why many black parents choose not to do this, because they just don't want to go through it. Now, when we have women are different, you know, women are different, right? But I know a lot of black women just ain't having that. Just to see, like, okay, say for instance you're living together, right? Man and woman, mother and father living together, but you're not together. You already decided, you know, this is not working for whatever reason. A lot of times it has to do with infidelity, right? And you say, you know, it's not working, we're gonna split, but you still decide to live together. And with living together, what's that noise? With living together, you have to deal with that person dating, right? Because obviously, if you're not together, right, but you still live together, you're gonna see that person move on. They're gonna date, and just imagine that scenario, right? Like, imagine that scenario where you and your baby mom or baby dad decides to live together after the split and co-parent your child, your children, and then you see your ex-partner with another person. How does that work? Like, you're gonna want to move on, you're gonna want to date. How does that work? Comment below and let me know if you guys know someone who co-parents and lives together, and just share your thoughts on what do you think about that, because I'm like, I don't know if that would work. I'm trying to imagine myself in such a situation like that. So I did my right hand. I'm going to go back and do a second coat after I do my left hand. And y'all, I realize how long my nails have grown since I moved to New York. When I was living in LA, they weren't like this. It was not this long. I'm like, maybe it's the ginger I've been drinking to ward off this whole freaking coronavirus threat. So I'm assuming ginger helps your nails grow. I'm drinking ginger and a lot of water and orange juice, but these things are long. So I guess perhaps you would establish rules, you know, as a couple who has split, and say, well, okay, if you want to date somebody, feel free to date whoever you want to date, but they can't come over here. You cannot invite them over to the house. And then seeing your baby mama or your baby dad, like, they on the phone and they talking to their girlfriend or boyfriend, right? Because you live together, so you're going to see it all. It's like, do you really want to see that? But you probably would sit anyway. I mean, if you co-parent, you know, when you call this other person, right, to handle whatever parenting business you need to handle with them, as it relates to daycare, school, going shopping, getting a passport to leave the country. Because I learned that if you have a child from a person and that person, the other parent, signed the birth certificate, you cannot take your child outside of the United States without their permission. It's like, whoa. If the other parent's name is on the birth certificate, you have to get the other parent's permission before you are able to do that. I'm just like, wow, I did not know that. But, you know, it's a lot of business that apparently goes down between two parents when they're not living together, that, you know, you will eventually become exposed to what's happening in that person's life, whether you want to know it or not, you know, amidst you handling that business that you have to do with the other parent. You know, you're gonna see girlfriends that your baby daddy is, you know, dating or interested in. You're gonna see boyfriends, male partners that your baby mom is interested in, you know, amidst handling business with her. When you're trying to, that's if you co-parent. Now, if you decide, you know what, fuck that motherfucker, I don't want to have nothing to do with them, you're not seeing my child, which a lot of women do resort to that. This nail polish seems to be legit. We're gonna see. Come back in a couple days, because sometimes you never can tell. But just by me painting, seems pretty smooth, because sometimes you got nail polish that's real sticky. But I thought that it was pretty interesting when I saw that for the first time. I was like, this is the very first time I've ever seen two adults co-parent and live together. Like, that's, wow, that is like amazing, amazing. And I would just imagine like how different things would be if more couples actually did that. If more couples co-parented and lived together. Like, personally, I mean, I don't have any kids, but honestly, I don't even see, like, once I do have kids, of course, it's going to be when I'm married. But like I tell even guys that I date, like, nah, that whole separation, divorce, it ain't happening. If you got that in your mind, like, you're going to break up or things aren't going to work out, then chances are it's not going to work out. Sometimes we speak things into existence. It's not going to work out. If you already got your mind set and say, oh, it's not going to work out, then it ain't going to work out. Like, people speak hypothetically, like, oh, well, let's just say if it don't work out, then this is what I plan to do. Like, no, we're not even going to have that conversation, because it's going to work. So I don't even see myself, like, in a situation of co-parenting or, nah, I just don't. I mean, I guess no one sees himself in that situation, right? It kind of just happens, but no. I feel like nothing just happens. Like, that's the problem. People act like they don't see things happening before it happens. You know, you see it coming. There are signs that let you know. There are signs that you know that somebody ain't even no good for you. You know, that they are not faithful, that they can't be trusted, they're not reliable, they're not someone that you should invest your time and energy with. There are signs, you can tell. So I did the first coat, and now I'm going to go back and do the second coat. But I'm interested in hearing your perspective. This video might shut off, so I'm going to just keep going until it shuts off. Because I am pre-recording this video on my phone, which my phone has limited amount of space. So we shall see how long I can go with this video. But that's just something that I'm curious. I think co-parenting, even though of course I'm against separation and divorce between couples who have children, but I know it happens. I know that it's something that, you know, exists, especially within the Black community. And I think it's pretty impressive, though, when you think about it, like, that two people can actually put their differences aside, put the bullshit, put the pain, whatever they went through, you know, that led to the separation. They put that aside to be able to handle business as parents and for the best interest of the child. I just think that's pretty impressive. Because, I don't know. For me, I'll probably be the kind of person like, nope, you ain't seeing the baby. We're not together. You ain't seeing the baby. Let alone live together. What does that mean? We living together now? So yeah, things can get kind of weird with that living together situation. I probably was just better off leaving one coat. I love black polish, y'all. It's my favorite. I probably should have did this video live because it's gonna take forever to upload to YouTube, being 15 to 20 minutes long. I'm about to end it. I am gonna come back and do another video. I was gonna do this topic while designing that other shirt that I have, but I'll probably just come back and do another video, separate video, showing you guys the design for the other Black Lives Matter shirt that I got. I got so many compliments today on this shirt, and people was just looking at me like I was walking down the street covered in gold or something because of what I'm wearing. The shirt, I love this shirt though that I made yesterday, and I didn't even realize like how it naturally just kind of falls off my shoulder, my left shoulder. I'm trying to like center it on both shoulders, but it has a mind of its own, so I let it do what it do. But living together as a co-parent, I would think that that dynamic would usher in the possibility of both parents rekindling their flame. I mean, because you're around that person, like how can you not have feelings for that person anymore if you're living with that person, right? I think that's a good idea to say, you know what, we're not gonna move out apart from each other. We're gonna just still live together and allow nature to take its course. And I bet you probably still be having sex too. I mean, how can you not? Unless, I guess, maybe you just completely fell out of love with your partner. That's a possibility though. People do fall out of love. Like, you know what, just lose interest. I do that. And guys be so surprised that I've dated. They were like, what happened? And they try so hard to win me back, and it's just like, once I lose your interest, it's done. Like, turn me off. I'm not interested anymore. Like, sorry, don't fuck up. Especially in the beginning stages of a relationship, you know? We don't even have history together and you are already fucking up. And then I cut your ass off and lose interest, which I can't control my interest level in a person. If I lose interest, it just happens naturally. So I need something I can control. I can like somehow regain interest, make myself regain interest in a person and a guy. That made me lose. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, y'all see that? Think about for males that you have to be very patient, careful. Okay, this is about, I'm about to shut this video off because it's going to be too long. I don't know what's up with Facebook though. Facebook be taking forever to upload my videos from my phone. I'm just like, Facebook, what are you doing? What are you doing, Facebook? Alright, I'm about to shut this thing off as soon as I finish this last. I keep getting notifications. As as soon as I finish this last nail, then I'm gonna go over it with the clear polish. Oh yes, I love it. By the way, that coconut video I uploaded, the one that I did on Flatbush, that coconut was $12, y'all. That coconut juice. I was like, whoa. I think I got spoiled because the one I got on Fulton Street in Brooklyn was only $7 inside the coconut. But that's the thing. This coconut juice that I got today, it was like a big cup of coconut juice, which I think it took like 3 coconuts to fill it up. So that's probably why it was $12. Oh yeah. I kind of want to see some spots that I can fix. But I don't want to mess around and call myself fixing it and smudge. So I'm just going to leave it as is for now. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about that co-parenting and living together. It just seems so foreign to me. It seems obviously unusual. Share your thoughts below.